Hey everybody, welcome to What Culture Gaming. I'm Scott, joined by Josh.
Yes, once again.
The news won't stop. Mr. Todd Howard himself, a divisive messiah and none other than the head of Bethesda, main man, has basically had an interview with CNET where he talks about the idea of crossplay on Fallout 76. Now, Fallout 76, in case you don't know, is the series' first attempt to be an online MMO-style, survival style.
Oh, is it?
It is! We talked about it a bit. But basically, because it's going to be Fallout Online, obviously people are starting to ask, well, are we going to be able to commingle with other platforms that are going to be getting it? Todd Howard, talking to CNET, said Sony aren't being as helpful as everyone would like right now. Which is not the first time for Sony.
Not, is it? It's not. It's not. Not even the first time with Sony and Bethesda that they've not played ball.
God, no. I mean, like,
mods as well.
Yeah, it reminded me of back when Skyrim came out, and there was a glitch where the save on the PS3 went bigger and bigger and bigger until it bricked the console, which was just brilliant. But I mean, whatever. So yeah, Todd Howard said we'd really love that in regards to crossplay, but right now we can't. Sony is not as helpful as everyone would like.
Yeah.
So directly throwing Sony under the bus.
I know. Well, you can see why you would do that because everyone's asking for crossplay, or at least the people who are asking for crossplay. Like, why can't you do it? And they're not going to just be like, well, we will. We're not going to give a PR spin on it. They're just going to come out right and say it's Sony's fault. Like we've tried to turn it on. It's the same thing that's happened with other companies in the past, like obviously Epic and like Fortnite and stuff. Like,
so yeah, there's two very interesting examples that people might remember. When Fortnite first came out and it first sort of blew up, Epic actually allowed crossplay between between PS4 and Xbox One, only for it was like an afternoon.
Yeah.
And it ended up getting turned off again because it wasn't meant to be online. They would later refer to it as a configuration error, which I guess it was. But it made people start to think, well, if it's that easy, for it to happen, and this, like I said, like you said, it wasn't the first time. You can go back to Rocket League and talking to, I forget who he was talking to, but Cynox's Jeremy Dunham basically commented on the reality of how easy crossplay is, and literally said, in reality, it's a web page with a checkbox on it. And he said, like, it's that easy to turn on and off.
That's the real big deal for me because when Sony talks about it, they make it out to kind of be this like a configuration issue. We've got to look into it. It's going to be harder than it seems. And then it's like, nah, you can just literally just click a box.
You just don't want to.
And then you just don't want to, and that's the reality of it. And Sony, for me, haven't given a sort of a strong enough response as to why they don't want to do it. Even if they just said, look, we want to keep our platform separate, we want to keep our exclusive, that's an explanation.
Well,
that's an explanation I can buy.
Yeah, and if you go back, speaking of being able to buy explanations, if you go back to when Minecraft was touted as one of the games that could do crossplay, they said they didn't want to allow PS4 players to play with Xbox fans, for example, because they couldn't guarantee a safe environment. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know if Xbox people have like chains and guns and they're just like Mad Maxing it up, and all these PS4 lads are like smoking cigars, like down the suite.
It's not good. Like in an age where exclusives sort of even exclusives feel outdated in today. Like there's no real reason why every experience shouldn't be across things. And I know there's like the business reality of they need to sell consoles, but it's frustrating now more than ever to not be able to play a certain game on different consoles, especially when stuff like Fortnite and Minecraft, they're ubiquitous across not just games consoles, but like toasters, tellies, they're on everything, probably. But they're going to be eventually.
Yeah, you can play it on a toaster.
Out there. But you know what I mean? Like, even that is sort of an outdated way of thinking in a way. And this sort of drives that home for me that Sony might not be as hip as they want to be. I don't know.
It's interesting, and we did talk about this on like a previous video about the realities of what it could be like if crossplay was implemented, because I think there's a huge amount of PR and like competitions and marketing and general buzz you can get around your brand if you completely embrace it. We've already seen, like, that was the video we made about Microsoft and Xbox tweeting Nintendo and that kind of thing. But if you had this out there and all this functionality was turned on, all they have to say is, hey, PlayStation versus Xbox for the month of July.
Exactly, yeah.
And you go do X many tasks and we'll keep track of it and like just roll out some rewards and hey, go on Team PlayStation. Like, just do it.
It sells itself.
It does.
There's no real. It doesn't have to be for every game either. Like, you don't have to turn on crossplay for every single game. It's just these sort of these
competitive stuff.
Yeah, like these games that have huge appeal, like Rocket League, your Fortnites, your Fallout 76. That would be great to like sort of team up. And it's frustrating to see Sony just stifle this at everything, every single turn. And then again, I keep coming back to it, but it's the lack of a proper explanation that really irks me.
I just thought, what if? Well, it's not going to happen. But what if Fallout 76? Because you can shoot nukes at each other on that. You can build settlements. What if Camp Xbox is over there, and then we PlayStation
literal
boy.
console war there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like you said, the marketing writes itself.
Yeah.
Like it's maybe it. Well, We know why. I was going to say maybe it's not as simple as that. No, it is as simple as that.
Maybe because obviously people are getting more outspoken than they ever have about this stuff before. Like
Yes.
developers, as we said, are coming out and like sort of calling Sony out. There's only so much Sony can take of this. They can't just keep the walls up forever. I don't think. Eventually, they've got to just be like either give a response or just being like, look, we don't want to do this, or be like, we've heard you. We're going to do it, we're going to compromise like they did with mods on PS4.
I think the tipping point will be whether the average consumer, the person on the street, even knows what crossplay is.
Yeah.
Because I think it's very vocal online, but I think if you imagine talking to just some average person who owns a PS4 who maybe only plays something like Fortnite or FIFA or whatever every year, do they even know what crossplay is?
It's a good point.
So it'll be something like that. It's going to take a groundswell of that magnitude to get them to even pay that much attention, because they haven't even commented on it.
Yes.
Or not for a few years anyway. So we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, the idea of it is definitely solid, and it's, like you said, it's starting to gain some traction. So let us know what you think down in the comments below. Would you take part in a Sony versus Microsoft style jamboree, or are you just not that bothered? I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com.
I've been Josh from WhatCulture.com.
And we'll catch you soon.
Bye.
Bye.